KFC Friday Night Fight Studios getting ready for the main event. It's coming up next. Kelvin Davis is back taking on Eric Fields. Kelvin Davis, yeah, a Tyson body double. He can slug as well. Main event here on Friday Night Fights is coming right up. First, Miguel Cotto and Paul Williams definitely in the welterweight winners bracket, but they will have to wait, at the very least, for a shot at the real champ. Floyd Mayweather has reassessed after his win over Ricky Hatton and appears he is going back to the Golden Boy. The rematch seems to be close to being made. Dan Rafael says all parties are choosing now between weekends in September and a site for this fight. As the welterweight champ would say, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. First fight, a huge hit, bringing in over 2 million pay-per-view buys. First fight was a split decision. De La Hoya controlled with the jab early, but got away from it. Perhaps didn't want to run out of gas. Mayweather worked his game plan. He always says that, execute the game plan. He did it. The intrigue here, can De La Hoya finish the job, even though he will be older by this September, of course. Also, Dan Rafael reporting, Marco Antonio Barrera telling promoters that he wants to come back after the loss to Pacquiao again, wants to unretire. Ricky Hatton, after a valiant effort against Floyd Mayweather, coming back after his first loss and planning to come back May 24th and will fight in Manchester. He is still the junior welterweight champion of the world. Kermit Cintron, cleared to resume training now, had a severe ligament damage. His fight, again, in the bout with Jesse Feliciano. Cintron looking to come back in a crowded and very deep welterweight division. Once again, we're going to go back, and we're going to go south. You know, next year, this time I propose an outdoors in a ballpark, maybe Lambeau Field, but for this year, it's Key West, balmy for Joe and Teddy. Guys?
We will pass on that offer. Thank you. Brian, say, look at this. This was just after 6 o'clock tonight as the crowd was entering Mallory Square and looking off just to our right, the beautiful sunset off of Key West. And the sun was setting on two of our opponents tonight, both in the 5th round. First, the former titleist Randall Bailey against Anthony Mora. Good night, Mr. Mora. And then Ed Paredes against Cesar Vega. 5th round again, gone again. And will we have more of that come our main event? You know they would love that. Becoming a little bit of a tradition here. Friday night fights in Mallory Square, and everybody in Key West seems to come out for this night. And it is now time for our main event. The great comeback. It's always been the backbone of boxing history. And in our main event, a comeback story like no other. And it includes the backbone. Kelvin Davis is back in the ring, 7 months removed from a catastrophic fall off a bridge. He's going to face Eric Fields, prepping for just the 2nd fight in this comeback. A man who has thrilled us so many times before, tough and rugged, a power puncher who once held the title in 2004, but it's his 2007 that was most memorable. It all started on Friday Night Fights last February. He was taking on top 10 cruiserweight Darnell the Dingling Man Wilson. In the 2nd round, Davis scored a knockdown, but in the 3rd, Wilson came back and he would finish the night. Then last May went up against the heavyweight veteran Terry Smith, did Kelvin. And once again, early fireworks were the story. This time it was Kelvin who was hurt early. He survived, came back, staggered Davis. They went toe-to-toe, but the close decision went to Smith. But those moments were easy compared to the fight that would follow. A fight for his life, a fight to regain his full health after breaking his neck and back in a freak accident last June.
I went for my last training run. I told my brother I was leaving. I walked out the hotel room, and my conscience was telling me go left, but myself told me to go right. I went right, and I went for the run. I was to like 30 minutes of the run. So 30 minutes, I see my destination point to touch the stop sign, turn around and run back. Touched the sign, and I turned back, and all of a sudden there was all this traffic. There was no traffic before, so I'm running, and a car came towards me, and I had to make the choice to live or die. You know, I tried to look for an alternate solution to get out the way, but it was swerving. I had to jump, and when I jumped, I fell 25 foot off a bridge. I was down on the barge, and it was cement, so cement and rocks. And I got up and I walked up the hill. It took me about an hour to get up the hill. It took me another hour and a half to walk to find help. The thing about it, you know, I went to the hospital. I mean, there's a lot to my story, you know. I ended up finding out I broke my back and my neck. I lost the biggest fight of my career, the heavyweight title. I mean, I got the proof right here. I got the neck right here, broke my neck, and I got scar on my back, you know. But you know, one thing about it I learned is that this S doesn't stand for Superman. This S stands for save, because the reason why it stands for S is because God saved my life.
Morning road work in New Zealand turned into that nightmare, falling from a bridge and undergoing 11 hours of surgery, and here he is, 29 years old. His record as a pro, 24-7-2, 16 knockouts. At 5'7", gives up nearly 7 inches in height to Fields. He's had a career matched up against top cruiserweights throughout. He won the IBF title in May 2004 against Ezra Sellers. His 2003 fight with O'Neal Bell was a Friday Night Fight classic. Hard to believe he is back in a ring. And here's the challenge. Eric Fields, just 25 years old, well-rounded athlete, a year into his pro career. Just fought 14 days ago on a Friday Night Fight undercard in Oklahoma, his native Oklahoma. He's 10-0 with 8 knockouts. He's had a limited pro career. This is a step up, but as for his amateur days, he's a 2-time National Golden Gloves champion. It is scheduled for 10. Fields has never been past 6. Telis Asamino is the referee.
I'm going to mention. One corner. Gentlemen, you have received instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Your belt is perfect. Yours is high. Anything here is not going to be a low blow. Shake hands. God bless.
So note the belt line on Eric Fields. Telis did that. The Just for Men ring experience. Kelvin Davis, obviously the longer and more accomplished career, 151 more rounds as a pro than Eric Fields. But is it a different Kelvin Davis?
I'll tell you something. Well, I'll tell you something. You use the word obvious. I'll tell you something obvious. Fields should stay on the outside. Davis should get inside and not get caught a shot like he just caught right there on the outside.
That didn't take long, did it? Early fireworks. Every Kelvin Davis fight seems to have them.
Well, right hands,
Smith.
Right hands can work. Straight right hands can work against Davis because he throws wide hooks. And when you throw wide hooks, straight right hands can get there.
Davis eating a combination from the youthful and athletic Fields. Uppercut lands, as does a left hand, and Fields jumps all over him.
And again, good range for Fields.
That's it. He passes the test. Kelvin Davis comeback over TKO first round, Eric Fields.
Stop. Get out.
Ringside physicians tending to Kelvin Davis as the young man from Oklahoma celebrates.
Davis being a gentleman and coming over to Fields and giving him his just due and saying, good job. You know, Joe, we didn't get a chance to say too much, but going into this fight, obviously Davis had much more pro experience. He fought top competition where Fields had been in fairly soft. He had not been tested, but one thing, one big but, and I think it reared its head here, was that Fields had a big amateur career. Davis did not. Fields was a 2-time amateur champion, as you said, and that amateur experience, that really showed, and that gave him the confidence to come out this way.
Eric Fields, 6'2", 198-pounder from Ardmore, Oklahoma. He gets his moment to shine on Friday Night Fights, and he made the most of it against the comebacking former titleist, Kelvin Davis.
Now don't forget the mindset here. Davis came into this fight having lost his last 3. And Fields took advantage of that mindset. He didn't get Davis a chance to get confidence. Let's take a look.
That's the opening right hand.
Right hands work again against a guy who throws wide punches. And Fields knew what to do with that amateur experience, that confidence of being a national champion. He put them together. He kept just enough distance where he didn't get smothered. And he got the job done. Take another look. He's already hurt Davis now. Now he's putting them together. He's not allowing Davis to get himself together. And he chooses the right punch at the end. That shows me an intellect of a fighter. He chose that uppercut, and there was a road for that uppercut, with Davis handing his, or holding his hands in that earmuff position. The road was up the middle, and at the end, Fields went up that middle.
Said he's so hungry right now. He knows what's in front of him. He knew this would bring out the beast in him. He fought just 14 days ago, and now 33 punches thrown later on the Just for Men punch track recap. And Eric Fields has the best win so far of his young career. We will talk to Eric Fields when we come back to Key West, Florida. First round TKO over the former titleist. Fields does it. You'll hear from him when we return. More to come on Friday Night Fights.
Back here on Friday Night Fights, we're looking ahead in 2 weeks. Our 10th anniversary celebration continues from Pittsburgh with exciting featherweight Monty Meza Clay. And then February 8th, top 10 cruiserweight Darnell Wilson, the Dingling Man, as the 2007 Knockout of the Year returns to the ring against the undefeated BJ Flores. Again, join us here on Friday Night Fights. All right, back here in Friday Night Fight Studios. We have an update right now from Dan Rayfield of ESPN.com. Again, we told you that there were threats that you don't really take too seriously, but you have to, when you hear them, you report them, that the fight could be off between Trinidad and Roy Jones Jr. Very unlikely, although there is a rift over the gloves right now. They have decided that they will not settle it tonight, that they'll try to settle it in the morning, but the fight is basically going through, of course. Roy Jones Jr. wants Grant gloves. Felix Trinidad wants Everlast. Jones says it's kind of ambiguous in the contract, although it seems to be in Trinidad's favor on that. They'll settle that tomorrow, and we'll fight tomorrow night. Let's go back to Joe Tessitore.
Thanks, BK. We are here in Mallory Square. Seems like a night of knockouts on Friday Night Fights. The most recent came in TKO form in the first round of our main event from this man standing now in between Teddy and I. It is Eric Fields. Your first appearance on Friday Night Fights. It didn't last long, just the way most would like to make their debut on Friday Night Fights. It has to feel great.
Oh yeah, so I'm happy about it, man. Hey, I didn't plan on a knockout. I planned on trying to keep my distance, but I seen the opening with the right hand, and I wobbled him, and he fell. I mean, I was just work my jab and take my openings, but it was there, so I took it. Hey, did my job.
Well, I'll let Teddy and you go through some of the highlights here of your TKO win over Kelvin Davis. Teddy, right out of the gate, he comes out with the right hand.
Yeah, well, Eric, you know, you didn't look for a knockout, you said, but you saw the opportunity. Obviously, you did your preparation for this fight. Did you think that there would be a home for right hand because this guy throws wide punches and maybe the straight right hand would be effective? Did you have that in your mind coming in?
When I first came out, I was kind of like trying to palm my jab at there, and I can put my hand. I put my my hand on his forehead. I know if my jab can touch him, my right hand can, so I just threw it.
You might say that you didn't want to come out looking for a knockout, but you knew what to do when you hurt the guy.
Right.
As part of that, because of your amateur background, because I thought that served you real well.
Yeah, amateur background. I mean, I put some amateur stuff on him. I wouldn't. It's like I got to say it again. I wouldn't going for the knockout. Just kind of trying to land punches, you know, and. You never know what punch is going to hurt the guy.
Because a lot of guys said going into this fight, and it was the right thing to ask, that you didn't have the pro experience, near the pro experience that Kelvin Davis had. But you had that amateur experience. Did that give you confidence to say, hey, this is my time?
Yeah, when I was an amateur, I competed with the best, you know, and I was a two-time national Golden Glove champion. So if I compete at that level, I can step it up and compete at the pro level.
Eric, let's talk about your expectations now. Obviously, this is a great start to your career. Impressive tonight, and you probably wowed a lot of people out there on TV. Where are things going in the short term, and what is your long-range plan?
Well, that's not my job to say. I mean, that's my promoter's job and my manager's job. You know, I'm just, whatever they set up for me, that's what I'll take. And
it's a competitive division, the Cruiserweight division. We've seen Matt Godfrey emerge on Friday Night Fights. Is there anybody out there that you're potentially targeting down the road?
I mean, it's like I got to say it again. I mean, that's not my job. You know, whoever they put me up against, hey, I'm do my job. And
you're a manager's dream then.
Exactly.
Come on, you're such a nice guy. Yeah. You got a great smile. You got great talent. Come on, say that you want somebody. Come on, give us what we want. Call somebody out.
Anybody who wants to fight me.
There you go.
All right.
I'm ready to fight.
You know, you remind me a little bit of a light heavyweight champion, and this is a nice compliment. I know he's smaller than you, but you remind me of Chad Dawson a little bit. You have talent, you have good size, you have good instincts, and technically, you're solid.
That's a good thing to hear. I mean,
it's a nice compliment. Eric Fields, congratulations. We obviously look forward to seeing you down the road. Comes up with the TKO win over Kelvin Davis here in Key West on Friday Night Fights. Didn't take long at all. Eric Fields now 11-0 with 9 knockouts. BK.
Joe, Teddy, thank you very much. A frightening knockout there. Impressive performance as well. Some more boxing news now here on Friday Night Fights. It'll be a rematch of a most remarkable fight. Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao 2. It'll be March 15th at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. You go back to this fight, and this was in 2004. It took a while to get them back in together at the same time, but this fight, incredible. Juan Manuel Marquez hadn't lost a fight in 6 years, and even that was very close to Freddie Norwood, and then he gets dropped 3 times in the first round against this whirlwind from the Philippines. Yet, despite going down the 3 times, he would battle back, get back up on his feet, and start to outbox Pacquiao, and then battle all the way back to a disputed draw. So they will fight once again, March 15th in Las Vegas. So So two great fighters there, kind of under the radar. These fighters at this point have become brand names, and that's why this fight is somehow a pay-per-view fight. And there's a lot of mainstream coverage on this bout, talking about Roy Jones Jr. versus Felix Trinidad. Now let's go back to what Roy has been doing over recent years. Again, we've talked about how great he was, and he was the #1 fighter in the world, pound for pound, dominant through 3 weight classes. I mean, completely dominant. But then the 3 straight losses to Tarver, Glenn Johnson, and Antonio Tarver again. And he comes back in July of 2006 in Boise, Idaho, of all places, and gets a decision over Prince Badia Jamu. Then, the following July, so 1 year later, takes on Anthony Hanshaw. No joke, fights him in Biloxi, Mississippi. And a workmanlike at this point, Roy Jones pinned up here, but fighting back. A lot of that electricity is gone, but comes back and wins a unanimous decision over 12 rounds. Roy Jones Jr. fighting once a year, staying active, now loves the game. Felix Trinidad, meantime, after getting the decision over Oscar De La Hoya and solidifying things in the welterweight division, moved up to junior middleweight, and look, here's where he just became scintillating, beating David Reed, lopsided beating over a previously unbeaten titleist. Then one fight 9 months later, another unbeaten champ at 154, Fernando Vargas, and this was vicious. Felix Trinidad. Now Vargas, of course, made a rep for himself by getting up off the canvas, but he lost, and lost by TKO in the 12th round. This is Hassan Sharifi. Later, after the stoppage by Bernard Hopkins, Tito battles back, gets a TKO in the 4th round. He would retire after that fight. At that time, only 29 years old, out of action 2.5 years. Comeback #1 against Ricardo Mayorga. Very impressive against the former welterweight champion of the world. He's a very hittable guy, but he was the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, and he beat Ferdinand Forrest twice, and Felix Trinidad TKO'd him in the 8th round. So he moved on from there. Hey, Tito's back, but then he fought Winky Wright. Ooh, big mistake. Winky shuts him out, beats him up. Trinidad loses going away. Unanimous decision, 12 rounds. It's done. That was in May of 2005. And Felix Trinidad, just days later, retires again, and again takes 2.5 years off. But now, lo and behold, Tito is back. So tomorrow night, Madison Square Garden. Again, we've got the Battle of Legends. Teddy Atlas, I call it kind of a senior tour, and yet here they are. Give us your big picture take, Teddy, on your thoughts on this fight.
Sure, now you want to talk to me. We get a quick knockout, and all of a sudden you have time for me. All right, Brian. Yeah. Okay, now you have it. Hey, you got a sweater there? You okay, right?
Yeah, I know you're concerned about me up here. Don't worry, I can scrape the snow off my car when I get outside. I'm okay. You and Joe relax. Get a little, umbrella in your drink. You'll be fine down there, Teddy.
Somebody give him gloves. Okay. Listen, this fight, let's be honest. I'm not saying anything bad about it. We all know that it's a little late. I tell you, I'm not paying $15,000. I don't think that's giving you any kind of real great news. And I don't think I'm paying $5,000 for it. But I think it's kind of like watching the Rolling Stones now. You know, they're older and everything. There's a few wrinkles and stuff. But you want to still see if they could hit a note, if they could still remind you of what the Rolling Stones were. And I think that's why people are going, to see if they could still hit a note. And you know what? Yeah, their skills have eroded. Yeah, it's 6 years too late, but their character's still there. And maybe if their skills are eroded, they'll stand there and they'll find each other more than they maybe would have at another time. But their character will allow them to behave like fighters. And maybe that makes for a really interesting fight.
Hey, Teddy, what if the winner, let's say it's Roy Jones and is favored in this, what if it's Roy and then he really does go after, say, someone like Joe Calzaghe or Kelly Pavlik? Would you be concerned about Roy fighting, one of these young lions? Although Calzaghe's a little older, but, someone at the very top of the game right now.
Two ways to answer that fairly for Roy. One is that he would be a little better, that this fight would have served him, his confidence, his physicality, maybe, his reflexes, getting back in the ring. It would have served him. He would be a little bit better. But then to answer you also, yeah, I'd be concerned because he's stepping up now with a guy who hasn't been away for 2.5 years, and then 2 fights ago wasn't away for another 2.5 years, as Tito was. And he would be fighting a guy who's a bigger guy, who's a natural weight, not a guy who spent most of his career at welterweight. So, yeah, I would be concerned about Roy in that way, that now he's stepping up with a guy that is a much higher level and therefore a much more dangerous guy if Roy is vulnerable at that point.
Make a pick, Teddy. What do you think happens tomorrow night?
Brian, I think that if you like Tito, there's only one way to pick him. That even though he's a smaller guy, he could still punch. Punches are born. They're not made. He can still pop. And let's face it, Roy's chin has been damaged a couple times in those two fights in a bad way. So if you like Trinidad, you got one reason to take him, that he's going to catch Roy a perfect punch and end the fight. But if you like Roy, and I like Roy, you have an argument to make a couple ways. He's bigger, he's faster, and he can move a little bit. And you know, Tito likes you in the power lane. But when you can move on Tito and he's got to move his feet, he has trouble. You take away his strength. So because of that, I'm going to go with Roy Jones.
All right, Teddy, good stuff. Hey, Teddy, one word. Fluids. You know, it's hot. You lose a lot. You lose a lot of fluids. Replenish. It's very warm down there, Teddy.
Thank you for the concern, Brian. I appreciate it. And please, somebody get him gloves.
Thank you, Teddy. It does get chilly up here in the air conditioning. You know, he'll get his, and I'll get mine. East-West Shrine Game. You have more college football coming your way. 7 Eastern. You can see it on ESPN2 tomorrow evening.
By the looks of things down under here at the first Grand Slam of the year, the top players didn't have much of an off-season. Roger Federer's sparkling form continues. He hasn't lost a set. James Blake is in a very similar position. He's playing some scintillating stuff. As for the Williams sisters, they are both looking very strong. Marcus Baghdadis of Cyprus and Leighton Hewitt will play for your pleasure from the Australian Open as we continue our coverage on ESPN2.
And we continue from Key West, Mallory Square. A power surge for all these thousands of fans who have come out to see Friday Night Fights presented by Just for Men Hair Color. It started early with the former junior welterweight titleist Randall Bailey against Anthony Mora. Good night. Then Ed Paredes taking on Cesar Vega. Another right hand. And Eric Fields, the unbeaten young prospect, against the former titleist Kelvin Davis. Scored a knockdown on the first punch and then a swarming attack for the TKO win. Next up on Friday Night Fights, Damian Tinker faces Key West's own Danny Van Staden, 4 rounds, junior welterweights. That's Damian Tinker. He's 21 years old. He's made the trip over from the Bahamas here to Key West. 4 pro fights, 3-1, coming off his first loss all the way back in May. Went 3-0 in the Bahamas and then suffered a 4-round decision loss here in Florida. And there is Danny Van Staden, originally from South Africa, but has been living and training and fighting from right here in Key West. Announced from the Conch Republic, 31-year-old Danny Van Staden, 5'11", 138 1/4, 5-3 with 3 knockouts. And you listen to the local radio and you hear the local fight fans, and this is the guy that they really want to see tonight. So let's see if Danny can put on a show. Tommy Kimmon's the ref.
I want to remind you, this honor is to watch you fight, so keep it clean. Touch him up.
You know, Joe, 3 of Tinker's 4 fights have been against soft opposition in his home island of the Bahamas. The one time he ventured outside the Bahamas was his 1 loss. Tinker is outside the Bahamas.
Van Staden. And the darker trunks with the gray trim.
And with the southpaw stance.
Two-punch combination.
Tinker has been inactive for 8 months. Van Staden was last in the ring only a month and a half ago. We'll see if that helps him.
All right, jab from the southpaw Van Staden. Trying to find his range. This is with that straight left, chasing back Tinker.
You use a key word there. Van Staden trying to find his range. To me, that's the key of the fight. Stay at a range since you're taller and longer, and shoot your shots from that range. Don't get into the range of Tinker.
Tinker goes straight back. Van Staden follows him with a series of left hands to the body. Gets sent back himself.
You mentioned Tinker's been in soft. Obviously, Van Staden has been in soft in his career too. But of course, Van Staden's chin hasn't been as good as Tinker's. He has been knocked out twice. That is a hope for Tinker.
I invite you to stick around at the end of this first round. We are going to visit with Kelvin Davis, former world champion and a frequent visitor to Friday Night Fights, who lost in tonight's main event, and Kelvin will make an announcement as to the future of his career. Left hand to the body and then a right hand upstairs, and Tinker goes down.
Joe, actually it was a left uppercut. But you're right, he's down.
So the left hand puts down Tinker and scores the knockout victory for the Key West favorite, Danny Van Staden.
Well, Van Staden did a good job of keeping range, keeping distance. And from that southpaw stance, throwing a nice left uppercut with the shorter Tinker. Uppercuts can work with shorter guys, especially shorter guys that come forward. The uppercuts certainly work against Tinker.
gave the locals exactly what they wanted. Hey, just getting on TV tonight was exactly what they wanted for Danny Van Staten. And here's what they were celebrating about.
And again, there's that left uppercut right on the button that ends the night for Tinker. Take another look. Watch this left uppercut. Splits the guard. And I would dare to tell you that Tinker never saw that punch. And that's why it was so effective. And as we said earlier, Tinker does not do well when he leaves the Bahamas. He's 3-0 in the Bahamas, 0-2 outside the Bahamas.
For the official particulars, here's Bob Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mallory Square in Key West, Florida, referee Tommy Kimmons stops this bout at 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the first round. Your winner by TKO, Danny the White Lion Van Staten.
So Danny Van Staten up on the shoulders. In a town that likes to celebrate and have a good time, you know they'll be having a good time celebrating Van Staten's appearance on Friday Night Fights tonight. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas now joined ringside by Kelvin Davis. Kelvin, it's good to have you with us. Obviously, you suffered a TKO tonight in our main event against Eric Fields, but your story just to even come back at this point in your career, remarkable. Last June, you suffered the broken neck, the 11-hour surgery, the broken back. You made it back. This was your second fight, and I know you have an announcement about your future.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me this far. But I'd like to thank Teddy for what you've done for me. You know, I think my fans out there, the Lions Den and Percy Moore, or more financial. You know, the injury I had is just, I think now it took a lot out of me. I'm more thinking about getting hurt instead of fighting, and I should be worried about the man I'm fighting. And now I really feel like I know what Tyson really felt like. You know, when your mind's not in it, then it's no use of being in the ring.
Kelvin, thank you for giving us the fights you've given us, and thank you for being a gentleman.
Thank you, man.
Kelvin Davis announcing his retirement here on Friday Night Fights on the heels of his TKO loss to Eric Fields. Kelvin, thank you so much for all the thrills through the years.
Thank you.
Truly a veteran that we will always remember on Friday Night Fights. Kelvin Davis announcing his retirement. More Friday Night Fights after this.
Joe's going to lead.
Do me a favor, hold that just like that.
Right now. All right.
ESPN Friday Night Fights presented by Just for Men Hair Color. Knocks out the gray better than ever. And in part by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Always a great scene here at Mallory Square. Festive atmosphere. The fans just eat it up. Friday Night Fights in Key West. A night of knockouts. Eric Fields stays perfect in our main event, the TKO victory over Kelvin Davis, who just announced his retirement here on Friday Night Fights. The big fight this weekend, of course, in New York. Tito Trinidad, Roy Jones Jr. It's time for Teddy Atlas's Just for Men Stay in the Fight. How will each man stay in the fight and try to come out the victor, Teddy?
Well, I think, first of all, you look at the graphic right there. For Roy Jones Jr., we talked about it, I talked about it a moment ago with Ryan Kenny. He's got to make sure he stays out of those power lanes. Don't stand right in front of Trinidad. That's when he's most effective and can be most damaging. Give him angles, get to the side, make him move his feet so he can't get those big shots off. And for Trinidad, well, you know, Jones has been known to sometimes throw technique out the window a little bit. You know, he depends on his great speed, his great reflexes, and sometimes Jones will jump in and he'll pull out with his hands down. Take advantage of that. If you're Trinidad, look to catch him coming and then look to catch him going.
By the way, when Kelvin Davis was visiting with us, I know he thanked you. Your foundation actually came to his help and aid when he had that catastrophic injury.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people helped him. And it came to our recognition that he needed some help with paying for the rehab. And it's the least we could do.
Well, job well done there, and Kelvin Davis once again announcing his retirement here on Friday Night Fights, and he helped the sport with all his thrilling action that we saw through the years. We will have more Friday Night Fights when we return. Stay with us.
Australian Open tennis is coming up next here on ESPN2. Two quick notes here in boxing. Ruslan Chagayev, the #4 heavyweight in the world, according to the Ring magazine ratings, fights tomorrow night in Berlin, Germany. Chagayev's first title defense since beating the giant Nikolai Valuev. He fights Matt Skelton, who is 40 years old, a former kickboxer. He's boxed only for 5 years. And Sakio Bika making his first fight, first time back in the ring since the Contender Championship fight in that classic against Jadon Codrington. He'll take on Librado Andrade, March 15th on the undercard of Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao. Well, it's been a night of knockouts here on Friday Night Fights. Again, Fluids, Teddy. Fluids. It was warm down there in Key West. Again, Randall Bailey. You have the knockout king on. You're going to get some knockouts. Bailey and Eric Fields leading the way on a night of knockouts on Friday Night Fights. We thank you very much for watching the program. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Australian Open is next.